Hollywood always promises perfection, but what if that perfection is built on lies? Across red carpets and Instagram feeds, stars are shrinking before our eyes. Behind the glowing selfies and designer gowns lies something darker: Ozempic, the so-called miracle drug, now tearing careers apart. It isn't just about weight loss. It's about betrayals, broken contracts, families staging interventions, and fan bases turning their backs on idols they once adored. Tonight, we count down 20 shocking celebrity transformations that reveal not only the dangers of a drug, but also the scandals Hollywood desperately tried to hide. 20. Kim Kardashian. For years, Kim Kardashian sold the world on the power of curves. Her figure inspired a billion-dollar empire and a generation of women who embraced their bodies with pride. But when Kim stepped out looking shockingly lean, fans weren't cheering, they were furious. The scandal didn't stop at her physical change. Kim was still promoting products built on body confidence, shapewear campaigns, motivational slogans, and speeches about embracing your natural self while secretly being linked to Ozempic. When side-by-side photos of her sudden transformation went viral, fans accused her of hypocrisy. How can she sell us self-love? One critic asked, while buying shortcuts behind the scenes. The backlash grew louder when insiders claimed a luxury fashion house quietly dropped Kim from a major campaign after her new look drew negative press. The brand feared being tied to the storm of criticism surrounding her alleged pharmaceutical use. Even within her own family, whispers began that her obsession with image was fueling tension. Kim Kardashian has always been accused of shaping beauty standards. But now, her transformation leaves one scandalous truth. The same empire built on body positivity may be collapsing under the weight of its own contradictions. 19. Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian once branded herself as the strong sister, the one who turned heartbreak into motivation and built an entire television series, Revenge Body, on helping others transform their lives. Fans respected her resilience, her honesty about struggles, and her claim that hard work could rewrite the narrative. But Khloe's most recent transformation has raised more than eyebrows, it has ignited scandal. Her rapid weight loss, so sudden it looked impossible without medical intervention, coincided with rumors of Ozempic quietly circulating among the Hollywood elite. Trainers and nutritionists called her timeline unrealistic, and social media accused her of misleading the very people who once trusted her as an inspiration. The scandal deepened when whispers emerged that a fitness brand she endorsed began reconsidering its partnership. Their concern wasn't just about her health, it was about credibility. If Khloe's discipline and gym grind turned out to be a cover story, then the brand's entire campaign risked collapse. Fans, too, voiced their disappointment. Comments flooded her Instagram with messages like, "So Revenge Body was just a lie?" Even within the Kardashian circle, tensions simmered. Insiders revealed arguments behind closed doors, with family members urging Khloe to slow down, while others feared the mounting backlash would taint their collective empire. What once was her strength, her ability to overcome public scrutiny, has now become her weakness, as accusations of deception shadow every appearance she makes. Khloe Kardashian sold empowerment. Now her new frame tells a scandalous story. Empowerment replaced by desperation, honesty replaced by illusion, and an empire of fitness credibility hanging by a thread. 18. Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner, the youngest billionaire of the Kardashian-Jenner empire, has always been a master of reinvention. Her cosmetics brand was built on the promise of authenticity, that her lips, her style, her beauty hacks were accessible to anyone willing to follow her lead. But her most recent transformation has left that image cracked. When Kylie appeared slimmer than ever, fans initially thought it was stress or the demands of motherhood. But the speed and sharpness of her weight loss quickly sparked whispers of Ozempic. Unlike Kim or Khloe, Kylie built her fortune on selling beauty products to young women who saw her as the model of self-confidence. That's why this scandal hit harder. To critics, It wasn't just weight loss, it was betrayal. The controversy deepened when a former assistant alleged that Kylie kept small injectable vials in her travel kit while claiming she achieved her body naturally. Though the claim was never proven, it spread like wildfire across tabloids and fan forums. The phrase, "Kylie's secret shots," trended for days, drowning her Instagram posts in accusations of dishonesty. The fallout wasn't limited to fans. Industry insiders whispered that at least one major skincare partnership quietly pulled back on a collaboration, fearing public outrage if linked to the scandal. Meanwhile, family sources described tension within the Jenner household, with Kylie insisting she could handle the pressure, while those around her worried the narrative was spiraling out of control. Kylie Jenner has always been a trendsetter, dictating what beauty means to millions. But this time, her transformation left people asking whether she was selling empowerment or selling out. 17. Kim Zolciak. Kim Zolciak was once reality TV royalty, the glamorous centerpiece of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, famous for her champagne-soaked confidence and don't care attitude. But when she reappeared looking alarmingly slim, the conversation shifted from her larger-than-life persona to whispers of something much darker. Unlike many stars, Kim admitted to experimenting with pharmaceutical weight loss aids, and that admission exploded into scandal. Critics accused her of glamorizing dangerous shortcuts, especially since much of her fan base followed her lifestyle tips and cosmetic endorsements. What began as curiosity quickly turned into outrage. "You were selling us wellness while injecting a drug," one angry fan wrote. The controversy deepened when reports surfaced that Kim skipped scheduled appearances due to nausea and exhaustion, classic side effects linked to Ozempic. Sources close to her family claimed that interventions had already been attempted, with loved ones begging her to slow down. The drama only grew when estranged relatives suggested her obsession with thinness was part of the reason her marriage began unraveling. Even Bravo insiders were said to be concerned. Producers, once thrilled to highlight her glamorous image, allegedly worried that showcasing her new look might spark backlash against the franchise. The woman who built her fame on defiance suddenly looked fragile, and the brand she carried with her was tainted by whispers of hypocrisy and desperation. Kim Zolciak once stood as the fearless face of reality TV excess, but now her transformation tells a scandalous truth. Even the boldest personas can be consumed, not by fame itself, but by the brutal demand to shrink for the cameras. 16. Elon Musk. Elon Musk may not be a Hollywood actor, but his fame rivals any star walking the red carpet. As the billionaire face of Tesla, SpaceX, and X, he thrives on projecting an image of power, control, and untouchable genius. That's why his sudden transformation into a drastically leaner version of himself became headline news across both tech blogs and celebrity gossip columns. Unlike others, Elon openly admitted he'd used Ozempic and Wegovy, even joking about it on social media. At first, fans applauded his honesty, but the scandal quickly took shape. Health experts blasted him for trivializing a serious drug, warning that millions of his followers might see his comments as an endorsement. Musk makes it sound like a quick fix, one doctor noted, but the side effects are brutal. The fallout didn't stop there. Insiders at Tesla and SpaceX were said to be frustrated by the distraction, as investors worried about the optics of their CEO endorsing pharmaceutical shortcuts in such a cavalier way. Meanwhile, his critics seized the moment, mocking his gaunt new appearance and questioning whether his obsession with controlling every part of his image had finally gone too far. Even those close to him noticed a change. Colleagues whispered about mood swings and bursts of irritability, with some suggesting the side effects of the drug were impacting his already volatile personality. For a man who built his empire on stamina and big promises, the image of fragility was jarring. Elon Musk wanted to prove he could conquer not only space and technology, but also his own body. Instead, his transformation turned into a scandalous reminder that Even the most powerful figures can be undone by Hollywood's obsession with looking perfect. 15. Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone has long been celebrated as the embodiment of timeless allure, the woman who defied age, Hollywood stereotypes, and even health scares with elegance and strength. But her latest public appearances shocked fans. The once radiant star appeared frail, her weight loss so extreme that tabloids splashed her photos with headlines asking if she was sick. The scandal escalated when Sharon herself admitted she had experimented with weight loss injections. Instead of applause for honesty, the revelation ignited controversy. How could a woman who once called wrinkles proof of life now embrace shortcuts that seemed to undermine everything she had stood for? Critics accused her of hypocrisy, claiming she had sold empowerment while secretly succumbing to the very pressures she condemned. Behind the scenes, the fallout was even messier. A wellness brand that once courted Sharon as a spokesperson reportedly backed out after her confession, fearing public backlash. Friends close to her revealed that the side effects, nausea, fatigue, and digestive issues left her unable to manage the long hours required for campaigns. Her candid admission, meant to spark conversation, instead painted her as another Hollywood cautionary tale. But perhaps most scandalous was Sharon's own reflection on the experience. She confessed she had become addicted to the rapid results, even as her body weakened. That chilling statement turned her transformation from a simple weight loss story into a revelation of dependency, obsession, and desperation in the face of Hollywood's brutal demands. For fans who once admired her fearlessness, Sharon Stone's transformation left them shaken. She was supposed to be the woman who resisted the system, not another star destroyed by it. 14. Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell built his empire on brutal honesty. As the sharp-tongued judge of American Idol and The X Factor, he made millions by cutting others down, insisting that authenticity and talent mattered more than image. But when Simon appeared on stage at a charity gala with hollow cheeks and a dramatically slimmer frame, the tables turned this time. The world was judging him. Speculation erupted overnight. His new look was so severe that fans questioned whether it was even Simon at all. Some called him unrecognizable. Others accused him of secretly joining the Hollywood Ozempic craze while denying it. The scandal grew when health experts weighed in, pointing to the hallmarks of rapid drug-induced weight loss, sagging skin, an exhausted expression, and changes too fast to be explained by diet alone. Behind the cameras, insiders whispered about a man unraveling. After his near-fatal bike accident a few years ago, Simon became obsessed with health, but friends claim that obsession spiraled into dangerous territory. Crew members from his talent shows reportedly noticed erratic moods and long breaks between filming, fueling rumors that the side effects of injections were taking their toll. The backlash hit his credibility hard. Here was the man who once lectured young performers about being real, now accused of crafting an illusion of youth with the very shortcuts he mocked others for chasing. Tabloids labeled him a hypocrite, and fan forums filled with comments like, "Simon lost more than weight, he lost the persona we trusted." For Simon Cowell, the scandal is more than cosmetic. It threatens his legacy. The judge who prided himself on authenticity now faces a damning verdict that he, too, may have been performing all along. 13. Adele. Adele was once praised as the rare star who refused to play by Hollywood's shallow rules. Her voice, not her figure, defined her career. Fans clung to her authenticity, a woman who wore her heart on her sleeve and proved that talent mattered more than thinness. But when Adele reappeared with a startlingly slim frame, admiration quickly curdled into scandal. At first, the world cheered her dedication. Then the questions began. How could someone who once rejected diet culture transform so dramatically, so fast? Trainers pointed out that her timeline defied natural weight loss, while tabloids speculated she'd quietly joined the ranks of celebrities relying on Ozempic. Adele never confirmed nor denied, instead brushing off the speculation with vague remarks about exercise and clean eating. but her silence only fueled suspicion. The controversy deepened when fans accused her of hypocrisy. She had been celebrated as a beacon for women told they weren't enough unless they were thin. Now, her new image felt like surrender. Hashtags questioning her authenticity trended online, with some critics calling her transformation a betrayal of those who saw themselves in her. Insiders whispered that the shift wasn't entirely her choice. Pressure from labels, lucrative endorsements, and the unrelenting gaze of Hollywood allegedly pushed Adele toward shortcuts. Close friends noted worrying changes, fatigue, irritability, and a sense of distance from the warm, relatable woman fans once adored. The scandal isn't just about Adele's body, it's about trust. The singer who gave the world its most heartfelt ballads now faces whispers that her greatest performance wasn't on stage, but in pretending that her transformation was natural. 12. Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson built her entire career on being relatable. From the moment she won the very first season of American Idol, she became America's sweetheart, a powerful voice paired with an authenticity that felt rare in Hollywood. Fans loved her not just for her music, but for her openness about body struggles, thyroid issues, and the pressures of fame. She was proof that you didn't need to look perfect to be loved. But her latest transformation threw all of that into question. Kelly appeared on her talk show with a figure so slim, it stunned audiences. Within days, tabloids and Twitter feeds were ablaze with one word: Ozempic. Her explanation, clean eating and walking more, sounded uplifting, but experts and fans alike weren't buying it. The speed of her weight loss didn't add up. The scandal exploded when a former crew member claimed that Kelly's sudden wellness journey was a carefully crafted storyline, complete with planned social media reveals and strategic breaks to hide side effects. If true, this wasn't a glow-up, it was a PR campaign. Fans who once trusted her felt betrayed, comment sections filled with anger. Kelly, you told us to love ourselves. Was that just a brand? Behind the cameras, insiders say the transformation took a toll. Long tapings reportedly became difficult, with Kelly often stepping off set to recover from waves of fatigue. Mood swings and bursts of frustration allegedly strained her team, while endorsement deals tied to her natural journey now sit under scrutiny. For Kelly Clarkson, the scandal cuts deeper than weight. It strikes at the very heart of her image, the down-to-earth star who told us to embrace imperfection. Now, her slimmer frame raises a painful question. Did she sacrifice honesty for the very Hollywood standard she once stood against? 11. Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen built her brand on being raw, funny, and unfiltered. From her early modeling days to her outspoken presence on Twitter, she crafted the image of a celebrity who was refreshingly real. She spoke openly about postpartum struggles, body changes, and the pressures of fame. Fans trusted her because she never seemed to hide until now. When Chrissy re-emerged, noticeably slimmer, her transformation quickly spiraled into scandal. Side-by-side photos went viral, with fans claiming the speed of her weight loss was impossible without pharmaceutical help. Almost immediately, Ozempic rumors exploded across social media. For someone who had built a career on authenticity, the whispers of dishonesty were damning. The controversy deepened when an old interview resurfaced where Chrissy mocked celebrities who secretly starved themselves while pretending it was healthy living. Critics pounced, accusing her of becoming exactly what she once condemned. The word hypocrite trended alongside her name. Behind the scenes, the fallout was worse. Sources claimed that a wellness brand considering her as a spokesperson pulled out after the rumors grew too loud. Even friends allegedly noticed changes in her behavior: shorter tempers, fatigue, and a growing obsession with maintaining her new look. The once funny, approachable Chrissy seemed replaced by someone more guarded, more anxious. The scandal left her fan base divided. Some defended her, insisting she was entitled to make her own choices. Others felt betrayed, convinced she had abandoned the honesty that made her beloved. What's undeniable is that Chrissy Teigen's transformation isn't just about weight, it's about whether her entire image of radical transparency was always just another Hollywood performance. 10. Doja Cat. Doja Cat has always thrived on controversy. Whether shaving her head on Instagram Live, feuding with fans online, or shocking audiences with outlandish performances, she built her career on unpredictability. But when she reappeared recently with a body so drastically slimmed down it looked almost skeletal, the scandal wasn't about her music or antics, it was about her health. Photos of Doja went viral within hours, sparking immediate speculation about Ozempic. The transformation seemed too sharp, too sudden, for it to be explained by diet or exercise alone. Fans who once celebrated her bold individuality accused her of caving to the same toxic beauty standards she had often mocked. Hashtags like #Doja changed and #Ozempic cat trended for days. The scandal worsened when concert insiders leaked details about her tour struggles. They claimed she needed long breaks between sets, complained of dizziness, and often appeared exhausted before going on stage. For a performer once known for boundless energy, the shift was glaring. Critics suggested that her health had been sacrificed for an image that wasn't even hers to begin with. Adding fuel to the fire, Doja's combative online personality made things worse. When fans asked about her weight loss, she lashed out, mocking the speculation instead of addressing it. That defensiveness only convinced more people she had something to hide. The backlash was swift. Thousands of fans unfollowed, accusing her of arrogance and dishonesty. Doja Cat has built a career by staying ahead of the narrative. But this scandal showed a different side. A star no longer in control of her own story, consumed by the very Hollywood pressure she once claimed to rise above. 9. Julia Fox. Julia Fox has always embraced chaos. From her whirlwind romance with Kanye West to her eccentric fashion choices that blurred the line between art and spectacle, she built her name on being unapologetically outrageous. But her most recent transformation shocked even her most loyal supporters. A body so gaunt and fragile, it looked more like survival than style. When paparazzi photos hit tabloids, fans were quick to speculate. Her once bold curves had melted away almost overnight, leaving behind sharp cheekbones and a frame so thin that people whispered the dreaded word, Ozempic. For someone who spent years presenting herself as a symbol of fearless individuality, the change felt less like rebellion and more like surrender. The scandal intensified when an anonymous designer leaked that Julia demanded sample sizes for a runway appearance, even though the clothes hung off her like fabric on a mannequin. The leak went viral, igniting debates online. Critics accused her of setting a dangerous standard, while fans mourned the loss of the raw, unfiltered Julia, who once defied every expectation. Behind closed doors, insiders describe a star consumed by the pressure to remain relevant. After her brief but explosive time in the spotlight with Kanye faded, Julia allegedly grew desperate to hold on to attention. Friends claim her obsession with image led to erratic behavior, canceled projects, and tension with collaborators. Even those close to her admit the spark that made her magnetic seems dimmed by exhaustion and anxiety. Julia Fox once sold herself as the anti-Hollywood rebel. Now her shrinking frame and growing scandals tell a harsher truth. Even the loudest outsiders eventually get swallowed by the machine they swore they'd never join. 8. Tori Spelling. Tori Spelling has lived her entire life under the shadow of Hollywood. As the daughter of legendary producer Aaron Spelling and the breakout star of Beverly Hills 90210, she was once the picture of youthful glamour. But in recent years, headlines about her have been less about acting and more about personal struggles, financial problems, marital drama, and now, a shocking physical transformation that has become a scandal in its own right. When Tori appeared in paparazzi photos looking frail and dramatically slimmer, fans were horrified. Her once familiar face seemed hollow, her body fragile, and her energy depleted. Almost instantly, Ozempic rumors took over. Was this the result of stress and hardship? Or was she another casualty of Hollywood's weight loss obsession? The controversy deepened when tabloids claimed Tori had been spotted at a Beverly Hills wellness clinic known for quietly prescribing celebrity clients. An alleged insider said she was barely eating while depending on injections to keep the weight off. Whether true or not, the story spread like wildfire. Suddenly, the actress who had once embodied 90s nostalgia was trending again for all the wrong reasons. Behind the scenes, family and friends reportedly staged interventions, fearing the toll on her health. But Tori's response was said to be defensive, insisting she was finally in control of her body. Critics, however, saw it differently. "This isn't control," one headline read, "this is collapse." For Tori Spelling, the scandal is more than just about weight loss. It's about the cruel cycle of fame. Even as her career dimmed, the demand to look perfect never went away. And now, instead of the bubbly teen star fans remember, Tori risks being remembered as another Hollywood cautionary tale, a woman devoured by the very machine that once made her famous. 7. Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks once ruled the fashion world as a trailblazer. She wasn't just a supermodel, she was a brand, a mentor, and the creator of America's Next Top Model, where she preached body diversity and self-acceptance. Fans saw her as the woman who challenged the cruel beauty standards of the industry and urged the next generation to embrace their flaws. But her most recent transformation has turned that legacy into scandal. When Tyra appeared at a high-profile fashion event, looking dramatically slimmer, jaws dropped. The bold curves that once made her stand out had vanished, replaced by a leaner frame that looked eerily similar to the very models she once told young women not to idolize. Almost immediately, Ozempic whispers surrounded her name. The backlash was swift. Former contestants of Top Model resurfaced old clips of Tyra lecturing them about loving themselves as they are, and accused her of hypocrisy. One viral tweet read, "Tyra told us to fight the system, then joined it. What should have been a triumphant return to the spotlight turned into a public relations disaster." Insiders claimed that her drastic transformation was tied to her relaunch into television and business ventures. She allegedly felt that to secure endorsements and maintain relevance in the ruthless fashion market, she had no choice but to conform. Friends revealed that behind the scenes, she was exhausted, irritable, and struggling with the very pressures she once claimed to rise above. Tyra Banks built her legacy on empowerment. Now, that legacy is under fire. Instead of being remembered as the woman who changed the rules, she risks being remembered as the woman who bent to them, another icon swallowed whole by Hollywood's obsession with thinness. 6. Bebe Rexha. Bebe Rexha carved her place in pop music by being unapologetically real. She sang about self-love, clapped back at designers who refused to dress her because of her size, and proudly called out the industry for its toxic standards. For many fans, Bebe wasn't just a singer, she was a warrior, a voice for anyone who felt excluded by Hollywood's obsession with perfection. But her recent transformation has shaken that image. When Bebe stepped onto a red carpet with a noticeably slimmer frame, the applause she might have expected never came. Instead, speculation about Ozempic spread like wildfire. Fans who once celebrated her as the champion of body positivity accused her of abandoning her message. The scandal escalated when a leaked report from a record label meeting suggested executives pressured her to rebrand with a leaner image to boost streaming numbers and brand partnerships. If true, it meant the woman who once fought against industry expectations may have caved to them under corporate pressure. Worse still, behind the curtain, friends say Bebe has struggled with exhaustion and severe mood swings, allegedly side effects of the very drug people suspect her of using. Insiders claim she's canceled recording sessions at the last minute, withdrawn from social interactions, and appeared anxious about fan reactions whenever new photos surface. The backlash was brutal. Comment sections filled with accusations of hypocrisy. "You told us to love ourselves, was that all marketing?" Some even unfollowed, declaring that the pop star they admired had sold out to the same toxic machine she once fought against. Bebe Rexha once symbolized defiance. Now, her transformation has become a scandal that raises a painful question: if even the fiercest voices of resistance can be silenced by Hollywood's beauty obsession, who is left to fight back? 5. Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea stormed into the music world with swagger and bravado. Her bold image, unapologetic attitude, and curvy figure made her stand out in an industry where every flaw is magnified. For years, she marketed herself as untouchable, a rapper who didn't need to fit the cookie-cutter mold of Hollywood beauty to dominate the stage. But her shocking transformation in recent months has ignited a scandal that even she can't wrap her way out of. When Iggy appeared at a festival with a drastically slimmer body, fans were stunned. The woman once celebrated for her curves looked nearly unrecognizable. Almost instantly, Ozempic rumors caught fire, spreading across tabloids and social media. Her silence only fueled speculation. "So much for being real," one viral post read, accusing her of crafting a false image while profiting off authenticity. The scandal deepened when a fitness influencer claimed Iggy had approached her team for advice on how to cover up the side effects of pharmaceutical weight loss. The story exploded online, with fans dissecting her performances and pointing out how her once high-energy stage presence now seemed fragile and subdued. Behind the spotlight, insiders whisper that Iggy has grown obsessed with maintaining her new figure, even at the cost of her health. Crew members allegedly noticed her demanding shorter sets, skipping rehearsals, and snapping at staff when exhaustion set in. The fiery confidence that once defined her is being replaced by irritability and insecurity. For a star who built her brand on being unapologetically bold, the transformation feels like collapse. Iggy Azalea once sold herself as a rebel who played by her own rules. Now, the scandal around her shrinking frame suggests she may have bent to the very industry pressures she claimed to defy. 4. Rob Kardashian. Rob Kardashian has always been the most elusive member of his famous family. While his sisters built empires on beauty, fashion, and curated perfection, Rob quietly retreated from the spotlight, struggling with weight gain, depression, and relentless tabloid mockery. For years, fans sympathized with him, seeing him as the one Kardashian who refused to play the Hollywood game, but his sudden and dramatic transformation has turned sympathy into scandal. When Rob was photographed at a family event looking shockingly slim, social media erupted. Some praised him for taking control of his health, but the applause quickly soured into speculation. The speed of his transformation, paired with his history of avoiding the gym, fueled widespread suspicion that Ozempic was the hidden factor. The hashtags #OzempicRob and #KardashianSecrets trended within hours. The scandal only intensified when rumors spread that Kris Jenner herself had encouraged Rob to slim down quickly for a potential reality show comeback. Critics accused the Kardashian matriarch of sacrificing her son's well-being for another family payday. Tabloids ran with the narrative, "Did Kris put Rob on Ozempic?" Behind the scenes, insiders described a darker picture. Friends worried Rob was crumbling under the pressure, allegedly suffering from severe fatigue and emotional swings. Some said he was avoiding cameras not out of shyness, but because he didn't want people to see the toll his sudden transformation had taken on him. What makes Rob's case so painful is the irony. For years, he was seen as the Kardashian who escaped the toxic cycle of image obsession. Now, his gaunt frame tells a scandalous story. Even the family's most reluctant member couldn't outrun the Hollywood machine. 3. Chrissy Metz. Chrissy Metz rose to fame as a beacon of authenticity. On This Is Us, she played characters that mirrored her own struggles, and she spoke openly about body image, breaking barriers in an industry obsessed with size zero. For millions of fans, Chrissy was more than an actress, she was a symbol of hope, proof that talent and heart could triumph over shallow Hollywood beauty standards. But her most recent transformation has triggered a wave of scandal. When Chrissy appeared at a charity event looking dramatically slimmer, the internet went into overdrive. The weight loss was so sudden and extreme that fans began asking the inevitable question, was this really about health? Or had Chrissy joined the growing list of celebrities turning to Ozempic? The backlash was fierce because of what she represented. Chrissy had built a career on rejecting the system, writing a memoir about self-acceptance, speaking at conferences about empowerment, and urging others to love themselves at any size. To many, her transformation looked like betrayal. One viral tweet summed it up. She told us to embrace ourselves, then caved to the very pressures she warned us about. The scandal deepened when an industry insider claimed Chrissy had been pressured by casting directors who warned her she'd be boxed out of new roles unless she reinvented her image. Whether true or not, the rumor fueled anger online, with fans accusing Hollywood of breaking the very woman who once resisted it. Behind the scenes, friends say Chrissy is caught in a painful cycle, proud of her progress, but devastated by the backlash. She's allegedly struggled with exhaustion and emotional turmoil, made worse by accusations that she sold out. For someone who built her career on honesty, the whispers of hypocrisy sting the hardest. Chrissy Metz was once Hollywood's strongest voice for self-love. Now, her transformation has become a scandalous reminder that even the most authentic stars can be forced into silence by an industry that worships thinness above all else. 2. Sara Ramirez. Sara Ramirez was once hailed as a pioneer. From their breakout role on Grey's Anatomy to their powerful presence on Broadway, Sara was celebrated not only for their talent, but also for their fearless authenticity. They became a symbol of visibility and representation, using their platform to challenge Hollywood's narrow standards of beauty and identity. Fans admired Sara because they seemed immune to the pressures that crushed so many others. But recent appearances have thrown that image into turmoil. When Sara arrived at a public event looking shockingly slim, the reaction was instant and harsh. Their once strong, radiant presence appeared diminished, sparking relentless speculation that Ozempic was the cause. For someone who built a career on rejecting conformity, the whispers felt like scandal. The controversy deepened when gossip outlets claimed Sara had quietly stepped away from advocacy projects centered on body positivity. Critics pounced, arguing that their transformation had undermined years of activism. Online, former supporters expressed disappointment, with comments like, "How can Sara tell us to resist the system when they look like they've given in?" Behind the scenes, insiders describe a star weighed down by career uncertainty. After facing criticism for polarizing roles and shrinking opportunities, Sara allegedly felt pressured to reinvent their image. Friends worry the transformation has come at a cost, citing fatigue, mood swings, and growing isolation from their usual support network. What makes this scandal so devastating is the symbolism. Sara Ramirez once stood as proof that you could defy Hollywood's expectations and thrive. Now, their drastic transformation suggests even the loudest advocates for authenticity can be silenced not by choice, but by the relentless machinery of an industry that punishes anyone who refuses to conform. 1. Amber Heard. Amber Heard has lived under a level of scrutiny few stars could survive. From blockbuster films to one of the most bitterly publicized court cases in modern Hollywood, every aspect of her life has been dissected, debated, and judged. But her latest scandal has nothing to do with lawsuits or ex-lovers. It's about her body and what fans believe she may have sacrificed to remain in the public eye. When Amber appeared at a European film festival, her transformation stunned the crowd. The actress, once known for her luminous presence and striking curves, looked startlingly gaunt. Her cheeks hollowed, her frame diminished. She appeared as a shadow of the woman fans remembered from Aquaman. Within hours, the internet was ablaze with accusations. Had Amber turned to Ozempic in an attempt to rebrand herself for a comeback? The scandal spiraled when whispers emerged that international brands she had courted for endorsements were quietly backing away. Executives reportedly worried that her drastic change would overshadow campaigns, shifting focus from glamour to controversy. Tabloids piled on, suggesting that her new look was less about personal choice and more about survival in an industry desperate to see her reinvented. Behind the curtain, insiders claim the toll has been heavy. Friends speak of her exhaustion, her withdrawal from social gatherings, and her determination to push through appearances even when visibly drained. For someone already scarred by years of legal and personal battles, the idea that Amber may now be battling her own body feels like the cruelest twist. Amber Heard's transformation isn't just shocking, it's symbolic. It represents the final note in a countdown of stars swallowed by Hollywood's obsession with thinness. And it leaves fans with one chilling question. If even someone as defiant as Amber can be reshaped by the system, is anyone truly safe from its grip? Hollywood tells us it's all about talent, charisma, and confidence, but this countdown proves otherwise. Behind every red carpet glow and filtered Instagram post lies a ruthless machine that rewards thinness and punishes imperfection. Ozempic promised a miracle. Instead, it delivered scandals, broken contracts, fan betrayals, family interventions, and stars who look more like ghosts than icons. Some lost credibility, others lost their health, and a few may have lost themselves entirely. The question isn't who used it, the question is, who will be next? Because if even the strongest voices, the rebels, and the icons couldn't resist Hollywood's obsession with shrinking its stars, then no one is truly safe.